Generative AI has become an important part of our lives. It's not only in a particular app, but it's everywhere in our daily apps, in commercial ads, or even in our neighborhood. For example, my municipality is using AI generated images to advertise my city's festivals. So, let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Geulita and welcome to a first YouTube video. Pick up your tablet, a pencil, a broom, or food, and let's get started. I want to start by saying that I'm against generative AI in general because it's using resources and polluting our planet while being the biggest slope ever created. But I think that talking about AI will make this video unnecessarily longer, like the impact of AI in our environment and our brains. So I will leave some videos in the description and you can check them later if you're interested in these topics. What I'm going to talk about is how generative AI is impacting the art field and why it isn't art and AI bros aren't artists. And I might sound absolutist in my arguments and how I am wording it, but I would love to hear your opinions in the comments. First, why don't I consider AI images as art? Well, I think that we should start talking about art itself. The first time that historians recognize art is when humans started painting in caves. I would say that it started with Homo sapiens or species, but the cave of Gortham in Gibraltar shows us that Neanderthals were also painted in caves. Do you consider this art? I will leave an image here. It's up to you. But I think it's interesting to show because even if it's another species of human, the only ones that can do art are humans. At least that's what historians say. Because if art started with Homo neanderthals painting in caves, then art started with humans. And in my opinion, neither animals nor plants can be attributed to art. Even if they are aesthetically pleasing and beautiful, they don't have the intention of making art. And that's the point of art, the intention behind the piece. You can think that the bird trill is like a song, and you consider it art because music is art, no? But the intention behind the trill is to communicate, primarily to attract a mate, defend their territory, warn of dangers, or contact with their offspring. They don't trill because they think they are making a beautiful song, even if we perceive it as beautiful. In my opinion, it's the same problem with AI. AI can make beautiful images for some people because beauty is subjective and you can consider it beautiful even if for other people it's not. But it lacks the intention of making art. AI follows prompts, not their own subjective view of reality. AI doesn't live in reality and therefore it can create its own subjective views, thoughts, feelings, etc. And art is about reflecting those views in a media music, literature, painting, sculpture, etc. In my case, I always used art to express myself. I started with literature, but I came to a conclusion that words can express all the things I want to say. The pain I feel, or those brief moments of peace and joy that life has. I can have certain feelings while reading a book. I can cry, laugh, or feel upset while reading, but I can't find the same sentiment while writing one. At least, not in the same intensity that I feel while seeing a finished piece that I made. But either way, writing or drawing, they will be influenced by my life. For example, when I was so depressed that I don't know how to word it, but life wasn't seem so good, my art reflected that part of me. I will leave some examples that aren't explicit, but I had word drawings. And when I see those pieces, my mind goes back to that time, to the people that I had around, to the sentiment I had when I drew the things, and that is something that AI will never experiment because it simply doesn't have a brain. Nostalgia. I think it's a universal feeling when seeing some of your old drawings, even if your drawings were necos with disproportionate bodies. You will probably feel some type of way while seeing those necos. Not because they have some kind of grand intellectual or emotional message, but because that's how our brain works when we pour our time into something. And that's my biggest argument against AI art, the intention and the sentiment. But now I want to talk about AI bros and why I don't consider them as artists. And this will be a small talk because I just need to say one thing, and at least I think that this is the best argument I have against AI bros. You aren't an artist because you have great ideas, but because you are capable of making them become real with certain tools. But AI isn't a tool, it does all the work for you. And I heard a lot of AI bros trying to justify saying that when digital art started, a lot of veterans said that you just need a button to do it, and that now we are doing the same with AI artists. But it's not the same. Digital artists need to learn the fundamentals of art in order to draw properly. We have tools that help us, yes, that's totally true. But there is a big difference between having layers and telling a robot to make an echo with disproportionate body. If you gave a digital artist a pencil, they can't draw. If you give an AI bro a pencil, they will write in paper some words and hope that the paper makes it, because they can't draw. And they don't have the passion of making art, because if they had the passion, they would pick up a pencil and learn. If I would compare them with someone, I would compare them with commissioners. Commissioners have an idea, but they don't have the skill, so they pay an artist to make it for them. They guide the artist so the final drawing is like they want. And that's what prompters does with AI. They guide it. But a commissioner isn't an artist in the same way that a prompter isn't an artist. They are the same but with the difference that one supports artists and one steals from artists. And with that, we enter my final point. How is AI impacting the art field? We can say that AI is impacting a lot of jobs, but I think it's a general agreement that digital art is one of the most affected. Art become a product and, in this consumerist society, they are seeing AI as a good replacement for artists. It's faster, can make beautiful images to some people, and it's cheaper. So the work of artists is being devalued really quick. If, before the rise of generative AI, art was seen as a hobby that shouldn't be monetized, now it's worth because ChatGPT or Gemini can do it. And this is one of the many reasons why I hate capitalism. It promotes this way of thinking. Art is a product, your body is a product, the planet is a product. If you find a way to sell it, do it. Because profit is above everything else. Your moral doesn't matter. Still, if you have to steal, do everything for the profit. And that's what AI is doing, stealing from artists that dedicated all their life to that because of the greed of people that want to be an artist without the art. Being totally honest, and this is how I view it, AI bros are the embodiment of greed and consumerism. They want the satisfaction of creating something beautiful without the creation. Okay, to finish this part of how AI is impacting the art field, I want to talk about something that, as a content creator, I noticed. TikTok made a revolutionary movement where short content started to be a must if you want to be seen. So the old format of showing your art wasn't enough anymore. Now you need to be a content creator and follow trends in order to gain followers. But trends only last a few weeks, and if you don't do it within that time, you are going to be forgotten. And I just want to clarify that I'm not talking about those trends that are like, I spent 18 hours on this image, please stay, or I got 3 new subscribers, yay, and you saw your art. Those are like minimal effort trends, and they are going to stay forever, even if they are like pity trends, because you can do it easily and you just have to show your art. What I am talking about are trends that you need to draw. Like trends, I don't know, now nothing comes to my mind, but for example, the Pitbull Terrier trend. I think there are more animation trends than nothing else, but yeah, you understand. I will leave some examples because I'm not remembering nothing right now. And AI slowed added difficulty to the game because prompters can do hundreds of images in some minutes and upload daily. But artists need the time to do our pieces. For example, the drawing that you are seeing right now took me about 12 hours. I normally spend like 12 hours in a drawing. I don't know which drawing you are seeing right now, but I think it's 12 hours. I will leave the real hour in the screen, but I think it's 12. And I have to accept that I'm slow because I have tendinitis in my wrist and my deltoid muscle gets inflamed and I can sit still, so I have to lay down, and when I'm laying down I draw much more slowly. So I'm not the norm. Some people need more and others less. But nobody can do a full rendered piece in minutes. And with minutes I mean 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I know that someone like, I don't know, Sandoz Art can do a full rendered piece in like 1 hour or less, but not in 5 minutes. Prompters do it with stolen art. And because of that, AI slope is more likely to be seen than a real artist. Maybe in a few decades, art will be really dead. Well, if we all don't die first because of pollution. But hey, at least we have AI slope. We finally reached the end of the video. Thank you for staying with me. You can leave your opinions in the comment, and if you liked this video, you can subscribe or give a like. So if I do more videos, I don't know if I will do it, you can see them. And if you're interested in my art and you liked what you see in the video while I was japping, you can go to my socials. I will leave here. So yeah, see you next time. We finally reached the end of the video. If you stayed until this moment, I am really grateful. You can consider subscribing if you really like it. I might upload more videos like this, just japping, so you can leave what you want me to jap about, and or maybe I will say my opinion in some anime or something like that. So yeah, I was going to forget. You can check my socials if you are interested in my art, and if I have open commissions, you can check them too. I have a coffee, so if you want to donate, so I can buy a microphone, a good microphone, because I have one, but it's really bad. You can do it also, and if I have open commissions, you can commission me. So yeah, ciao ciao. We finally reached the end of the video. If you like it, you can consider subscribing. It helps me a lot and makes me want to do more videos. If you like my art or want to donate to my coffee or commission me, check the links in my description. And that's all. Ciao ciao!